earlier. But let's begin back, verse 10. Who can find to a virtuous woman, for her price is far above rubies? The most important thing that anybody can find in a wife. Find a wife who has moral excellence, whose character has been changed by the Lord Jesus Christ. Everything else is outside. Look for what's inside. And moms, if you want your children to grow up, you want your daughters to be this way, you want your sons to choose somebody this way, be this woman of Proverbs 31. Let this heart be in you. The heart of her husband does safely trust in her. Interesting. The heart of her husband, not the head of her husband, right? It's not like he's made this choice to decide. He knows in his heart he can trust his wife. Live that way, woman. Nurture that heart in your husband, that your husband's heart can safely trust in you, knowing that you will be faithful to him and to your children always. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. And I think we see directly in this teaching, in this proverb, she does good physically, right? She works hard with her hands, but also spiritually. She seeks wool and flax and works willingly with her hands. Think of that character. Think of that hardness woman. She, takes care of the children, raises them up, goes, finds the wool and the flax, makes the clothing. She's a hard worker. She does this, she works willingly, not out of, I must do this. This is her desire. This is in her heart. I want to go do this. I want my children to have warm clothing. I want my husband to think well of me. This is my desire. We need to have that kind of heart. This should speak to men also. We should be this way. If our wives should be this way, we husbands should be this way too. Working willingly, not begrudgingly. She's like the merchant ships. That's just a hard one to picture. She's like the merchant ship. She's like a ship, right? And bringing her food from afar. I guess what'd she do? She goes down to, meet with the longshoremen down at, in Oakland or something and brings in containers of food. I don't know. But she's very plentiful, right? This is a very productive woman. She rises whilst yet night. Okay, well, I guess, I don't know. What time's the sun rise? Is it rising at 6 o'clock now? Is she rising maybe at 5 o'clock in the morning to prepare things for her family? Wow. This is a woman that children, if your mom's like this, you really ought to give her double honor. But this is the right picture. She rises whilst yet night and gives meat to her household and a portion to her maids. She's taking care of everybody, right? She considers a field and buys it. She obviously has wisdom. She's a good businesswoman. She goes and thinks, is this going to be a productive field? Should I buy this one or that one? She goes and she buys it. When the husband comes home, what did you do today? Oh, I went and bought this field. And did we even talk about it? I don't know, But she is a very productive woman because she's putting her family first. With the fruit of her hand, she plants a vineyard. So I guess she's out there, she's a farmer too. She's a real estate agent, went out, bought the land, came back, and now she's out there with her shovel, and she's planting vineyards. She girds her loins with strength and strengthens her arms. I don't know what she looks like, but I can tell you one thing, she's a doer, right? She does it. She perceives that her merchandise is good. Her candle goes out, not out by night. So I guess she didn't go to bed very early either, did she? She got up when it was night, and her candle's burning late at night. Wow. She lays her hands to the spindle, and her hands hold the distaff. I guess she sews a lot, right? I don't know if she actually makes thread out of the, buys the wool and makes a thread. I'm not sure what she does here. But this is one productive woman. She stretches out her hand to the poor. She doesn't have a just me attitude. It's like, well, I worked hard enough raising you, my kids, and now it's my time to sit back and get what's due to me. It's my time to relax. I need a little space. No. She's going, oh. And there's poor and needy out there, and we have to care for them too. What an example she is to her children, right? She's not afraid of the snow for her household, for all her household are clothed with scarlet. So she's got, summer clothing. She's got winter clothing that she made on her. I don't think she had a sewing machine. There was no electricity. I don't know how she did this. But she made all the clothing. That was in between choosing the vineyard and out there with the shovel and doing whatever else to take care of it. She makes herself coverings of tapestry. Her clothing is silk and purple. Now, we can't think here just physically. We got to think spiritually. What is she like? What is her heart like? She loves her children. She loves her husband. And she loves God. She's arrayed in silk and purple, royalty. Her husband is known in the gates when he, this is where it has to go up her nose, when he sits among the elders of the land. I mean, she's working all day long, and what's he doing? He's sitting in the gates. Sitting down, probably has an umbrella over his head, sipping some iced tea, and people come to him and, ask him for advice when they have problems. And I don't know what he does when he goes home at night, but, hey, honey, how was your day? I had a real busy day today sitting in the gates. That umbrella was getting a little few holes in it, and it's, you think you could maybe repair the umbrella for me? Because I got a little sunburn up here because I'm losing my hair a little bit. But she does all these things willingly. It's not in her mind to come back and say, what'd you do all day long? You were sitting all day long? No. She's pleased that her husband is doing the right things in God's kingdom. She makes fine linen and sells it. So I don't know, does she have, maybe an eBay account or something, and she sells the clothes she makes? And delivers girdles to the merchant. Strength and honor are her clothing, and she shall rejoice in time to come. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and in her tongue is the law of kindness. She looks well to the ways of her household, and eats not the bread of idleness. I don't think we didn't need that verse, did we? We could tell by all this. No, she doesn't eat the bread of idleness. She has no time to be idle. She's up all night long. That's a virtuous woman. Her children rise up and call her blessed. Do you do that? You kids in here, you rise up in the morning and say, Mom, you're blessed. Yeah, you got to think about that. Her husband also, I guess that would be me too, right? Do we, rise up and say, wife, you're really blessed, you're really a blessing. I know that you have no office hours. You work all day long and all night long. And every mom's done that. Every mom who's brought up a little one has done that. You may see, maybe the dad's a little bit tired when you have a newborn, but the mom's totally exhausted as she's up day and night, especially those first few months. And it depends. Sometimes it goes into a year or something where they're not sleeping through the night. And the mom is up. And she has no time to rest. For that, children and fathers, we should be thankful. We should be thankful. And he praises her. Many daughters have done virtuously, but thou excellest them all. Favor is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman that fears the Lord, she shall be praised. And that's how we should be. Moms in here, be this woman of Proverbs 31. This is how you're going to bring your children to the Lord, is being this example where they can see, yes, you are blessed. Yes, your focus is not to begrudgingly do things, but you do things willingly because it's in your heart, it's your desire to provide for your family. And husbands, don't make it hard on your wives to be this way. Help them to be able to do things willingly. Now, we have a big part in how we respond to what our wives do. And whether we encourage them to do this or we make them feel